November 30th, 2013. A Porsche Carrera GT loses control on a Santa Clarita street. Two men die instantly. One of them is Paul Walker, beloved star of the Fast and Furious franchise, a man who lived for speed both on screen and off. But here's the question that haunts Hollywood to this day. When does method acting become a death sentence? When does the culture we create on camera bleed into the choices we make off it? Welcome to Real Crime, where Hollywood's biggest stories hide the darkest secrets. I'm your host, Claudia. Let's go back to that day. Paul Walker and his friend Roger Rodas were leaving a charity event for Paul's disaster relief organization, Reach Out Worldwide. Rodas was driving his red 2005 Porsche Carrera GT, a car known for being notoriously difficult to handle, even for professional drivers. They were traveling on Hercules Street, a 45-mile-per-hour zone. Investigators later determined they were going between 80 and 93 miles per hour when Rodas lost control. The car struck a concrete lamppost and two trees, then burst into flames. Both men were killed instantly. The official cause? Speed. Driver error. A tragic accident. But for millions of fans, it felt like something more, like Paul Walker had become the character he played on screen and paid the ultimate price. The Fast and Furious franchise wasn't just a movie series, it was a lifestyle. It glorified street racing, high-speed chases, living life a quarter mile at a time. And Paul Walker wasn't just acting, he was living it. He owned a collection of high-performance cars. He participated in professional racing events. He did many of his own stunts. In interviews, he talked about his love of speed with the same passion his character Brian O'Connor showed on screen. Here's where it gets complicated. The franchise celebrated this. The studio marketed Paul Walker as the real deal, a guy who wasn't just pretending to be a street racer, but someone who genuinely embodied that world. So when Paul Walker died in a high-speed car crash, it felt like the movies had written the ending to his life. This raises an uncomfortable question for Hollywood. How far should actors go for authenticity? Tom Cruise hangs off planes. Jackie Chan has broken nearly every bone in his body. The Rock lifts actual cars. We celebrate these actors as dedicated, fearless, committed to their craft. But what about when the lifestyle follows them home? What about the culture of the film becomes the culture of their real life? Paul Walker wasn't driving fast for a movie stunt. He was a passenger in a friend's car leaving a charity event. But the identity he'd built through Fast and Furious, the image of the speed-obsessed adrenaline junkie, was so tied to who he was that the line between character and person had blurred completely. The franchise didn't kill Paul Walker, but did it create an environment that normalized the very behavior that led to his death? After Paul Walker died, production on Fast and Furious 7 shut down. The studio faced an impossible choice: scrap the film entirely or find a way to finish it and honor Paul's legacy. They chose the latter. Using CGI, body doubles, and Paul's brothers Caleb and Cody as stand-ins, they completed the film. The final scene, where Brian O'Connor drives off into the sunset, became one of the most emotional moments in action movie history. But here's the thing. The franchise didn't slow down. If anything, it doubled down. The stunts got bigger, the cars got faster, the risks got more extreme. Fast 8 dropped cars from buildings. Fast 9 sent a car into space. The franchise that lost its star to speed continued to glorify speed. Some saw it as honoring Paul Walker's legacy. Others saw it as proof that Hollywood learned nothing from his death. Paul Walker's death forces us to ask hard questions about the entertainment industry. When we pay to see death-defying stunts, are we complicit in the culture that encourages real-world risk-taking? When studios build billion-dollar franchises around illegal street racing, what responsibility do they have when fans or even the actors themselves imitate what they see on screen? And when an actor's entire brand is built on danger, where does the performance end and the person begin? Paul Walker was 40 years old when he died. He left behind a daughter, a family, millions of fans, and a franchise that continues to this day, still racing, still risking, still chasing that next adrenaline high. His death was ruled an accident, but in Hollywood, nothing is ever that simple. This has been Real Crime. I'm Claudia. Remember, every movie you watch, every stunt you cheer for, every character you fall in love with, there's a real person behind it. And sometimes the cost of entertainment is higher than anyone wants to admit. See you next time when we uncover the truth behind another Hollywood mystery.